Furnishings done of smoke butts and Nika shoes soles, rugs of old jumpers, and harvest bowls of smartphone screening, greet to the building of garbage, that outdoor in Milan over the year to show the planet's style equity, how garbage dump can be way of life. The business over the draft, MiniWiz, is the creation of Arthur Huang, and designer and structure engineering. More stunned by the sum of customer waste management creature discarded, he set out to investigate alternatives. I knew how fair-loathing waste management when do it go off, he says. Down there's already quite metal, quite plasticity to supporting our economics lot times above. Down there's a enormous wealth of prize-class garbage to use and de-use as basis source substance for new means. MiniWiz sees waste management as a precious source, not nonsense. Several 70 engineering personnel and scientists in its garbage lab, out of 80 personnel in full, gather customer and industry waste and trial it for de-use. The 13-year-old Taipei-based company has created 1,200 new material, lot of that are creature utilized in cloth, building, customer means and, maybe largest aspiring of all, the Inspire on a couple-seater plane how Mr. Huang intends to fly, one day same's completed his airman learning. We will fly in a garbage fender, he says majestically. We had to devise a new content. He's a carbon sequestration fiber-like content. He's undertaken 2-year R&D, study and growth, but we're nearly down there. MiniWiz has created a mini breeze turbine and sunny pane of electric waste management and document how can accusation smartphones. And in 2010 it constructed a 9-floor 130-meter house of bricks done out of 1.5 millionth plasticity glass container for a Taipei kindergarten fest, completely proven for structure force and in retardants versus flame hazard. Mr. Huang admits not all the material are fit for goal, a little ship sank. Yet we must not be frightened to failure, he says, though Sames had quite successes to win the 2015 Davos Planet Economical Message Board's Technique Young Pioneer confer. Lathe basis metal in O is just portion of the problem, yet persuading manufacturers to use processed content and compelling consumer they are fit for goal has its own problems. Says Mr. Huang, this largest subtle weaving seedling and car manufacturers will not use processed material, since it requires invest and they don't see a marketplace. Manufacture processes are optimized for line delivery chains. He's a chick and egg position. MiniWiz is hard to build a silky-like content out of plasticity. We sense love we're receive shut, but get up is yet really sluggish. If who wants a silky jacket, they wish a specific sense and quality assurance, a specific way. While a planner looks at our material, they tell, large conception, large concept, but he's fair not up down there. Irrepressible, MiniWiz is laid the building of garbage in a society office space and screen center that he hopes will be a hub for work in processed material. We wish to job in the new general of creatives and designers, he says. He does, yet, already job in big names, Nika, Coca-Bush Cola, Marriott Hotels and Starbucks. At Marriott, MiniWiz is hard to evolve a cushion how matches the in-circuit's current means. At Nika, he's work on processed shoes. Says Mr. Huang, I get to act in their information. At Nika I get to aware the specs of a penalty bind shoes. How powerful is the thread? Which is the weatherproofing? We wish to build processed material how competitive in current productivity. Tom Saki, founding member of US-based TerraCycle, is a enormous fan of MiniWiz. They're making wonderful things, he says. All in the planet can be processed, says Mr. Saki. His company is creation a diagnostics department, wherever such a various means as families' nappies and toothbrushes are not fair processed, but proven for public health need. He's on show which the next of recirculation could indicate, he says. For such a companies, recirculation is on proof the probable. Get MiniWiz trash presso car, a portable sunny-powered nonsense composter on the amount of a navigation canister. It straw, cleans, heats and reformulates nonsense, generally plasticity, in tiles how can be utilized as house content or for injectable casting. The original concept came of Jackie Chanel, who displayed Mr. Huang in his Verdant Heroes document. Fed up in the sum of waste management leftward on movie sets, Mr. Chanel began wonder if a laptop processor was probable. To show its capacity, 2 machines were delivered to a Tibetan countryside wherever original inhabitants had complained on visitor nonsense hammering the water supply framework. In spite such inventions, a really offering circular economics remnant far off due to the expenses of collecting and handling garbage, says Mr. Saki. This importance of waste is far under the price of recirculation. Governments could address the marketplace disbalance via stricter law, but Mr. Huang as well wants countries to perpetrate a % of their purchase budgets to processed means. It would outdoor the floodgates for all kinds of technology innovate, he says. For Mr. Saki, it is consumer who include the actual force. While consumer do the order option, producers and retailers will pursue. Firms love TerraCycle are not out of critics, yet. Several say they legitimize solitary use material by offer expect how all can, or will, be processed. Says Mr. Saki, I know the reason. Companies love PIT, or mini-whiz, are reactions to a adverse. In an optimum planet we would not already exist. But how doesn't resolve the instant waste management meltdown?